Hello, I'm Shayla Simpson. I was with the Ebony Fashion Fair as a model for 2 years and as the commentator for 14 years. Thank you for watching the Flair 2019 Ebony Fashion Fair Alumni Event live on OnStage Plus. Flair, which is the Fashion Legacy Association for Industry Recognition, is an organization formed exclusively of former Ebony Fashion Fair staff. That means Ebony Fashion Fair models, commentators, backstage staff, and stage directors that came together to keep the legacy of the Ebony Fashion Fair alive. Being with the Ebony Fashion Fair for 16 years was a dream come true. It was a dream job. Traveling around the country to 200 cities, seeing the United States, and then going to Rome, Paris, London, and New York to buy the best fashions in the world and bringing them back and sharing them with small towns across the country and the public was just an amazing experience. The impact it made on society is still seen to this day, and we're remembered and hope to keep our legacy alive. About 20 years ago, Faye Kirk-Mosley approached me and said, we've got to keep the Ebony Fashion Fair legacy alive. And this is when Fashion Fair was still actually on the road. Here it is now, 20-some plus years later, and we have branched off. We have now become Flair, which is Fashion Legacy Association for Industry Recognition. And our mission is to keep the Ebony Fashion Fair legacy alive by exposing new aspiring designers and models to the industry and awarding them with scholarships that inspire them. It is our hope that we make the Ebony Fashion Fair, Johnson Publishing Company, Mr. John H. Johnson and Mrs. Eunice Johnson proud of what they shared with us.
So we'd like to just make sure you guys are all with us. We're live streaming. We are at the Flair. It's charitable for the Ebony Fashion Fair alumni. This is an annual event. Beautiful people, beautiful models. Everyone is looking so amazing. I mean, faces are beat up. Stilettos are on point. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome everyone to the 2019 Flair. From the sidewalk to the catwalk, I'm your host for this wonderful evening. I am Renee Noor. We're the epitome of fashion. And this evening, you're going to see so many amazing styles that grace the runway. That's right, I'm wearing one of our amazing designers right now, African-American designer, that is Ms. Beauty. In addition to that, we're going to be doing interviews from all of our amazing talents, as well as our amazing models, commentators, and most importantly, our honorees.
So, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Carol Brantley Pines, and I live in New York. Have always been in New York, and I, along with my friend Elaine, were one of the first.
One of the first.
There were four.
In 1958?
1958.
Okay, all right. And today, as we continue the legacy
Yes.
of Ebony Fashion Fair
Yes.
2.0.
Beautiful.
2.0. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I feel wonderful. It seems to just grow, and I want it to continue. I'm so sorry that the magazine no longer is available,
Yes.
but I hope the legacy continues because it was one of a kind, it was one of the first, and it should endure.
Well, it's such an honor to meet you.
It's an honor to be here after all these years.
I'm Tisha Trene, and I'm going to quickly ask you a few questions for our live stream.
Okay. All right.
So, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Carol Brantley Pines, and I live in New York. I've always been in New York, and I, along with my friend Elaine, were one of the first.
One of the first.
There were four.
In 1958?
1958.
Okay, all right. And
Yeah.
today, as we continue the legacy
Yes.
of Ebony Fashion Fair
Yes.
2.0,
Beautiful.
2.0, how do you feel about that?
Oh, I feel wonderful. It seems to just grow, and I want it to continue. I'm so sorry that the magazine no longer is available,
Yes.
but I hope the legacy continues because it was one of a kind, it was one of the first, and it should endure.
Well, it's such an honor to meet you.
It's an honor to be
Okay.
here
Thank
after
you.
all these years.
After all these years.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Tisha Trene.
Hi, Tisha. I'm Elaine Calloway, 1958.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, one of the. Okay.
Carol and I, that's right.
Okay, all
Yes.
right. And so, how do you feel?
Tonight, the show, the 50 years that the show was on, flattered, happy, wonderful, went to all of them
Yes.
when we were from New York.
Okay.
So that was our beginnings, 1958.
How do you feel about the Ebony Fashion Flair 2.0? The legacy is continuing through the youth and the new designers up and coming today to keep
it's wonderful.
fashion,
It's wonderful.
African American
The
fashion.
names, Tracy Ross,
Yes.
Stephen Burroughs, okay, he's been around a long time.
Yes.
Just too many to name even, who have succeeded in the fashion industry. And all of those who didn't get acknowledged but who are doing beautiful work. Yes. It's wonderful.
Well, thank you. Thank you
Yes.
so much. It's such an honor. They have an amazing night set up for you tonight.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's been a long time since any celebrations I've attended, so this is
beautiful.
great. Thank you.
And so, I'm gonna have you step back a little bit because I'm gonna interview you. That's okay. I'm all right. This is for the live. You know who we are? I'm gonna have you introduce yourself in just a second. Are we on point? Okay. I'm Tisha Trene, and I'm going to interview you here real quick for the live here. Can you introduce yourself? Yes.
Stephen Burroughs, designer.
Designer. And yourself?
I'm Audrey Smalls, and I was with the Ebony Fashion Fair as the commentator for 7 years, 1970 to 1977.
All right, and you're one of the honorees.
Yes.
One of the honorees tonight. Can you tell us a bit about your story with Ebony and how it all started?
Making clothes for my friends after I got out of FIT. And that led to a store, boutique called O in New York City. And that led to Henry Bendel.
Okay.
And my career started from there.
And you have such clientele you have some wonderful clientele the public would like to know about.
Right, Diana Ross.
That's right.
Michelle Obama. Oprah Winfrey.
I just want you to tell it.
Pat Cleveland.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Albert Chin.
And what year did you start? Were you in the very beginning of Ebony?
I started in 1964.
You started your fashion design in 1964.
Yes.
Do you have any advice for the new up-and-coming designers that
Go to school and learn your trade and the basics of design is the most important thing.
It's such an honor. And your contribution to Ebony Fashion? Well, they said that I was the voice of Ebony. And I'd like to tell everyone out there about Toastmasters. Because I hear so many people speaking so, you know what I mean. Those are fillers. Don't have any fillers when it's not necessary. That's what I have to say.
Well, it's such an honor to meet both of you.
Thank you.
Renee, and I
Hey, how are you?
Hi, welcome tonight.
Thank
to the
you.
wonderful night of Flair Ebony.
Thank you so much.
2.0. And you're one of the honorees.
Yes.
Okay, and
Yes,
could
I
you
am.
introduce yourself to
I am Angela
live
Dean of
stream?
Dean Designer Collections.
Oh, okay. And you started out with Ebony when? Give us a little bit of background.
Well, I
about yourself.
actually did not start out with Ebony. I was actually one of the people that was inspired by Ebony and the fashion shows. I was a young girl that used to watch them, so it encouraged me to go forward in fashion. But I'm here representing the black designers.
And you opened your boutique in the mid-'80s, correct?
In mid-'80s on Melrose. Yes, I did. One of the first
One of the
black
first.
retailers.
I did my research. I just
there it
wanted to tell a little
is.
bit.
No worries. No worries. I've been fortunate also to have the highest selling cover of Essence magazine in year 2000, which was their first actually fold out. Talia, video. Thank you.
That's right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right, that's okay. So today, as Flair and Ebony 2.0,
Yes.
okay, they honor and contribute to the youth and
Yes,
upcoming
yes.
fashion. What are your thoughts, and do you have any advice?
Well, I have advice
Someone behind you.
for all of us to continue to support the young. It's very important because we are pioneers of this in terms of the historical things that that Ebony did for Fashion Fair, and Ebony Fashion Fair. It was amazing, and it is transforming lives to understand that we are creative and we can expand and do whatever we want all over the world.
Well, congratulations first from me. I want to tell you it's such an honor to meet you.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Tisha Trinae. Welcome tonight.
Yes, I appreciate you welcoming me to be here.
Oh, you're one of the honorees
Yes,
as
I
well?
am.
And could you introduce yourself to our live stream?
I am Derek Rutledge, makeup artist to Oprah Winfrey, past of Michelle Obama, Yolanda Adams, CeCe Winans, Shaka Khan. I mean, just the list goes on and on and on. But my career spans 25 years, so I've touched the faces of a lot of people.
And how does it feel tonight to reach a point where you are being honored for your contribution to black fashion and to women of color?
It feels good because, let me just take you back to last week. I received a similar honor, and to know that and hear and see that what I'm doing makes a difference, and that what I'm doing has paved the way for so many people, it really humbles me because I worked hard to get to here, and now it's time for me to give back and to bring up that next generation of beauty artists. And that's the one responsibility that I have, so we can keep this going, especially with the legacy that Fashion Fair, the Ebony Fashion Fair has had with the fashion show. Yeah.
Game changers.
They were game changers. And to find out they did this for 50 years when people, giving recognition to African American models, both the full-figured model, African American designers, and European designers, when people wouldn't recognize them. So to know that they did that and that they want to continue their legacy is phenomenal.
It is such an honor.
It's such an honor to be here.
We have a wonderful night in honor of you tonight.
I appreciate that. I can't wait to see what they plan.
Hi, I'm Tisha Trinae, and we're going to interview you here for our live stream. Could you introduce to the live stream who you are and your
Absolutely.
contribution to Ebony?
I'm Jocelyn Pennywell, and I'm a former Ebony Fashion Fair alum, year 2004-2005.
All right, and you're here tonight in honor of...
And I'm here tonight as a runway model, and in honor of Flair as well. Ebony Fashion Fair that's history, and to be an African American woman, to be able to tour the country and let our African American communities know about fashion and the power of fashion to help. I mean, the things it did for me as a young girl to boost my confidence is a beautiful thing. So I'm very thrilled to be a part of it.
Any advice that you can give to the young, up-and-coming African-American models behind you today?
I would say the best advice I can give is if you can dream it, you can achieve it. So don't give up on yourself. If you want it, go get it. Simple.
Well, thank you. You look wonderful. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you, lovely.
Fashion Fair 2.0. We live, y'all. We are live. So, could you introduce yourself here and your contribution to Ebony and what part you take tonight?
Right. So my name is Kevin Hall. I'm a fashion designer, and back in the day, Eunice Johnson, I met her in Paris actually at a Terry Mugler, and then we connected, and then a couple of years later or so, she came and organized and bought a couple of things for the Ebony Fashion Show. So I was really honored and excited to be a part of that, presentation. And then, back in Detroit where I grew up, we would go to the Ebony Fashion Fair and see all the incredible models. And fast forward, I'm a designer, so great inspiration.
And yourself?
I'm TJ Walker. I'm a designer as well, but my connection to this is pretty recent, and just in terms of my direct involvement. But I've always known about Fashion Fair and Vanity Fair and all the other things that they've done in the past, and I'm just happy that they're actually doing it and supporting it today, so the youth can kind of know what our history is in this.
That's right, because that was my next question. This is an awesome way to take our youth to the next level and keep African American fashion to the forefront and alive.
Yeah, that's right.
And so how do you feel about that part of it all?
Right. So it's incredible that they're bringing back a lot of the models that were in Ebony Fashion Fair, and then presenting a show on the runway so that people can really see the fashion. They can know that the models are historic, that black models changed fashion history in terms of the way that they brought the movements and the fluidity and the sexiness and the gorgeous way that they carry clothes. Back in the day, we did the screening last night of Versailles 73, and that showed just how important and how impactful black models were to fashion. And after that, Givenchy changed his entire cabine to black models. I remember we lost a lot of them. We couldn't find black models in LA because they were all in Paris right after that. So it's pretty incredible. So it's historic. Yeah.
Well, thank you tonight. We have a wonderful night here in honor of you all.
Pleasure to be here.
We're going to interview you here for the live stream here at Flair. And welcome tonight. Could you introduce to our live stream who you are and what part you take with Ebony Fashion's history?
My name is Theodis Rogers. I was a music director for Ebony Fashion Fair for over 17 years.
Ebony Fashion Fair.
I was music director, pianist. I performed all the music, rehearsed the band, 192 cities, bass player and drummer in each city every night. Yeah, traveled for almost 20 years actually with the tour.
How do you feel at this point with Flair and Ebony, the 2.0, and the contribution to the youth and up and
I think it's a beautiful thing. We have to preserve our history, and that's the best thing about this organization, preserving the history of the Ebony Fashion Fair. I mean, it was a one-of-a-kind show, and I was proud to be a part of it for all those years. And the scholarship contributions that this organization is doing, I'm pretty sure there's all kind of great things are going to happen because of this, especially for the youth.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. And just to keep African American fashion to the forefront and alive.
Of course. Yes. And all the creative efforts that we brought to fashion to get overlooked.
That's right.
Yes.
As it often does.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you. We honor you tonight.
Yeah.
We have everything set up great for you.
Hi, Tisha.
And we're interviewing you. Can you go ahead and tell our live world who you are and what contribution you have to
I'm
Ebony?
Tanya Hutchison. I was on tour 81-82 with The Look of Elegance, and the Ebony Fashion Fair discovered me when I was a starving college student and could no longer afford my tuition, so I took a year off of college to tour, and I saved all my money, and when all the models were going back to Europe after the tour, I went to college and got my education.
And you got your education?
I got my degree in fashion merchandising. So I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I was the Jet Beauty Centerfold of that year. They called me the Detroit Doll. And then I moved out to LA, and now I own a nonprofit organization for the empowerment of women, and we pay it forward. We educate young girls about financial literacy and how to invest early and stay out of debt. And that's my contribution.
So you're still contributing?
Yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
And the name of your nonprofit?
It's Phenomenal Women Incorporated.
And today, and doing today with the whole Flair and 2.0? Okay, what they're doing with the youth and the new designers? Do you have any advice for the new up-and-coming designers?
Because I was a fashion merchandising student as well, I encourage them to continue to partner with someone that can mentor them and to learn the basic etiquette of business, but also allow their creativity to flow. And I'm really glad that we can have this event because, like me, I couldn't afford school, and Faye and the Flair organization is making funds for that organization and for the individuals to pursue their careers.
Well, thank you. And what you here tonight?
Barbara Ranga. My native name is Yukimoli. From Uganda, East Africa. Here for Faye invited me. I did 2017. So today I was just invited to dress some of the ladies and also to enjoy it, which is good.
How do you feel about Flair and what they're doing with the youth today and the scholarships and keeping fashion alive with our youth?
I think what they are doing is really important because mostly the people, we don't get much opportunity in the fashion. For sure, in the fashion world, we are not there. So they are trying to highlight that there is also African people, African American people, or people of color who are really good with what they are doing, but they don't give us that chance. So this is really help us that we are somewhere there, we are also exist.
Well, thank you for coming. It's an honor to meet you. We have a wonderful night set up here tonight for you.
Thank you.
Hi, we're live. This is the live stream. Could you tell the live stream who you are and your contribution to Ebony?
My name is Sister Claudette Marie Mohammed, and I was an Ebony Fashion Fair model in 1963. At the time, I was working for Congressman Lionel Van Derlen, and I had graduated from John Robert Powers Modeling School, so I was doing a lot of modeling. And the photographer for Jet Magazine took a photo of me, and Minister Johnson called for me to come and be an Ebony Fashion Fair model. And my congressman said, no, no, no. 4.5 months, and I don't know if I want you out there doing that or not. I brought you out of your mother's home, and I'm taking care of you. So Mr. Johnson said, tell him this. Tell him I put him on the cover of Jet Magazine. And it was campaign season. So we took a picture together and he was on the cover. So that's how I got to be. And then I was in the centerfold of Jet also in 1963.
And we're honoring you tonight?
No, I'm not one of the honorees.
Not one of the honorees.
No, ma'am.
You're one of the fashion.
I'm one of the Fashion Fair models. Original Fashion Fair models. I should be honoree.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, excuse me, but I should be.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes,
and right now, I'm working as I've been the chief of protocol for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan for the past 30-something years. And now I'm the director of fundraising and congressional liaison.
It was Farrakhan.
Oh, Minister Farrakhan is fabulous.
Yes, it is. Yes,
it's really wonderful. And he just says the Ebony Fashion Fair with Mr. Johnson is really wonderful because it exhibits the beauty of the black man and the black woman.
Yes.
And it gives especially the young people an opportunity to see they also can be the same. Maybe not walking on a ramp, but at least they know that they're beautiful.
That's right.
And they stand for something and for somebody.
In some way.
And they contribute to society.
Right. And how do you feel about Ebony Fashion Fair and Flair 2.0 and what they're doing with the youth, contributing to the youth and the scholarship?
Year before last, we gave a scholarship to students who are taking fashion design. And I think they're doing the same thing this year. I'm not sure what the proceeds are going to.
Well, I'm privileged. I'm honored to meet you.
Well, I'm honored that you even thought enough of me to ask me.
Oh, of course.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
I recognize.
And I'm 81 years of age now.
And looking beautiful.
And I'm a young girl.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum. That means peace be unto you.
Walaikum salam.
Okay, thank you, dear.
All right.
Recognition. I don't do this for recognition. I do it for the love of the art and the craft. But to know that people are now acknowledging the work that I've actually done over the years, because I've been doing this now almost 30 years. So we go back to people that aren't even here anymore, like Phyllis Hyman. I used to do her, Whitney Houston, Aaliyah. I was supposed to do her. I actually was supposed to have been on that flight before with that but where she was actually, that went down. But God saw it that He had other things for me to do. So that's why I'm still here. And I'm talking about the girl groups from the 90s, Brownstone, SWV. We're talking about all of those girls. 20 years with Patti LaBelle, Shaka Khan, Yolanda Adams, CeCe Winans, album covers, music videos, award shows, to my 3-year stint with Michelle Obama, to now my current client of 9 years, Oprah Winfrey. So I do this because I love what I do, and every level has prepared me to get to the next level. So
that I must say is a Rolodex of phenomenal, stunning, iconic greatness. I mean, I can't even find all the words for that. But for you to be in that position, and he said 30, you only look 30.
I was about to say the same thing, because I had to talk about that age, baby. I had to do that.
So whatever you're doing, what's your secret?
Do you sleep upside down? Come on, just
I do sleep on my back.
See, because we can't make the face.
I sleep on my back.
I do it the same.
I sleep on my back because
we can't get no wrinkles.
It keeps the skin. Keeps the skin tight. Because I sleep on my back, and I also drink a lot of water. I do drink a lot of water, and then I also use a lot of essential oils that help combat eczema, because I have eczema. So I know how to get rid of it by using essential oils that actually get rid of the eczema and to help keep it down. Then the oils, because the essential oils, the molecules are so small, they go into the dermis and work on a cellular level. So, you know, and then I got to give it to the genes. I had very beautiful parents, and they created a beautiful person.
So the apple doesn't fall too far.
Not too far from the tree at all. Not at all.
You know what? I got to talk about something, because he's beyond the whole face. Because if I had to give best dress for 2019, Flair, hands down, baby. Did you see the cuffs? Okay, talk about the cuffs. Wait, hold on. Look at this top jacket. That's right. Let's go ahead on and give us a little bit of a peek of that top coat, baby. You better share it.
And the name of the designer, because you are snatched on fire.
And look at the top hat.
You are lit from head to toe.
Flawless, baby.
Eyewear on point. Vest. Studs on the shirt.
I love it.
Shoes on point.
And not only the shoe, but look at the bow tie that complements the shoe, baby. It's all about the details, baby.
Absolutely, it's
details.
Absolutely.
And because they said it was a jazz era, I decided to give him a top hat, and I had the guy that makes to give me a gardenia.
That's right,
I make a gardenia. So it's all about the details.
Just flawless. Like I said, hands down best dress for 2019.
I appreciate that.
I would even say even for the ladies. I'm sorry, he did it. Okay, he did it great. But you know what?
That's from the King of Fashion.
And I got to hand it to my designer.
Okay.
His name is Alan Cottrell. He has been making my clothes for over 25 years because because of my love for clothes. I always make sure that I'm dressed wherever I go, because I come from where first impressions are lasting impressions, so I like to make an impression when I first walk in. And that's with every client. I like to look good, I like to smell good.
I love it.
And that makes a good impression when you work with a client. It always has.
And it makes you feel just
it makes you feel good.
Being able to perform and create.
Right.
Because you are truly a creative individual.
Thank you.
So,
I gotta ask another question too.
I mean,
we just
this is so exciting
bad.
here. I mean, as we would say down south, you are clean as chloride, clean as the board of hell, clean as a cat on a hot tin roof.
Thank you.
That's how we would say it.
Thank you.
That's real right there.
Yes.
Okay.
What would you say to a young man on male's grooming? What tip would you give him? I know you just gave a great tip as far as the skin care regarding, but what would you tell young men, because most men don't take care of their skin?
Well, they have to understand that, that yes, everything you take internally comes out through the skin. So first of all, keeping up a good diet as far as what you take in. Like I said, I drink a lot of water, but then also just, I do my own grooming as far as trimming my beard, all those type of things. But just, but I do know a lot of men do go to the barbers and keep their faces up. But then also you can't stop there. You got to think about the rest of the body as well. And because I'm a
guy of a certain size, I get my clothes made because I like to look a certain way, and so I like to make sure that my clothes are made to fit my body. I don't. It'll come out later, but I'm very vulnerable. I don't mind telling people that I started this career weighing almost 600 pounds. At my heaviest, I was 586, and I lost 300. And because of that, I can sympathize with people that have all kinds of issues, because I grew up, and went through the industry being abused verbally because of my weight. I just never let that stop me from pursuing a dream, because I was very determined. I don't take no for an answer. If you tell me no, I find a way of doing it and making you say yes. Because this makeup was not going to be my career. Actually, I was studying to be an opera singer. So, but because of my voice teacher in college, they said to me that you're never going to make it because of your weight. You got a nice face, you don't have the body to go with it. So I suggest you change your career. And so I didn't change it. I minored in music and majored in producing and directing, which in those electives had photography. And in photography, I started to do makeup because I used to make up models. And so from there on, because of my art, because I have an art background, I was able to take what I learned in art and culminate that into a career of beauty. And I took it from the canvas on a actual canvas to the face, which I consider my canvas.
Well, you know what? I would love to be one of your canvas real soon, Derek.
We're going to have to make that happen.
Please, let's do that.
We're going to have to make that happen. We're going to have to make that happen.
Definitely. Well, I know it's that time of the night that we're going to be wrapping everything up from the sidewalk to the catwalk. Now it's time for us to watch the fashion show.
It is. Yes, it is.
Of the night, and we're so grateful to have Faye in our lives.
Yes, we are. She's worked hard. She's done a wonderful job pulling all this together. I'm happy. I'm proud. And when she asked me a year ago about honoring me and would I be a part of this, I would say, well, I don't think, do I really need to be honored?
Yes.
But I am glad that I said yes. I'm very happy I said yes.
You are deserving, and we
Thank you
so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm humble.
Congratulations, and wishing you unlimited, abundant blessings.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you so very much. And let's get some love here.